All right, I'm just messing around here. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Thanks so much for all the kind comments. As I always like to start these videos with a little token of my generosity and gratefulness and all those words that people use in their inspirational quotes on Instagram on a daily basis. But hey, man, I love you guys, man. I so much appreciate the amazing comments and positive feedback and all that stuff from you guys, man. It means the world to me. We're building a hell of a channel here. A lot of growth. I'm learning more, you know, and I'm constantly trying to dial in my lights. I don't know what happens on YouTube. It's sometimes it washes my face out when the camera looks great on the phone, and then it goes to YouTube and it changes it. So I'm just working on that, but there's always it's always a work in progress, just like playing the guitar and trying to make music. Hey, I wanted to tell you another thing too, and I'm going to get into some cool stuff in here. I think it's going to be cool in just a second. I want to discuss some of my thoughts about and things that I've learned about picking out a good guitar, pedals, amps, stuff like that. So a little bit of gear chat here, if you'll have me. But man, last night at the Underdog was absolutely epic. We had John Oates come out and play 4 songs with me and Tim and Jordan, and then Jimmy Hall showed up, and we got him up to sing a slow blues, man, and it was fucking killer. Jimmy Hall is such a badass. He sang with Jeff Beck for a long time, had a band called Wet Willie with a hit called Keep On Smiling. And man, he's 75 years old, man, and he brings the heat. It's like goosebumps, man. It's the shit. And so packed house. It was just a great night. I'm what a great way to start the week, man. I'm good for the rest of the week. Working with Brett Papa tomorrow, trying to get this course done with him. If you haven't checked out the Artist Works and TrueFire and all the private lessons and all the tiers I do, please check those out. I mean, that helps me make a living and is going to keep this train rolling. Hit the tip jug. Appreciate you. I'm pushing up on you guys a little bit to help support the channel a little bit more than has been going on lately. The comments mean a lot, though. I appreciate that. So look, here's the thing. The trio is playing in New York, July 16th and 17th. We'll be at the Berklee College of Music doing a private little thing there. Do they call it a symposium? You know, I got to learn. I got to beef up my Performing Arts Center lingo for when we go to the Berklee College of Music, man. I can't believe they're even letting us go there. But anyway, and then we play the bitter end, July 16th and 17th. There's still some tickets available, so please spread the word and come see us if you're in the New York area at the bitter end. That's our little Underdog, home away from home, cool as shit spot. So just check out all the things and let's ramp up the tip jug if you guys are feeling so inclined. And you know me, I don't ever say that. And those of you that have, I do appreciate it. So check this out. That was just a little, I don't know what that was. Not even gospel, but kind of just that happy kind of vibe. If I'm playing this lick, let's look at where that's coming from. All that is it's this. hit the top note, right, and I break that down even more, it's an A, a B minor, and an A. And then I'd break it down even more, and it's, and I'll break it down even more, and it's, that's a musical phrase. Right? You're good. So if I go to the E, go to D, I put a little G in there. You can always suss that for, you know. Can be great. You just got to be careful to land on the right notes. Get into this. My little patented phrasing exercise, right? It works in every chord shape. Check that out. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about picking up a guitar, and you guys are going to probably just crucify me in the comments on this, but I'm going to say this right up front. If you have to spend more than a couple minutes trying to figure out if you like a guitar or a pedal or an amp, I don't think it's the right one. If you pick up a guitar, and I'm going to get into some of the things that I look for, and you know, I'm not quite the gear guru that Uncle Larry is, but I've learned a lot from him, and I've learned a lot on my own by just going through, you know, and trying to find gear and instruments that inspire me, right? And so I will say that, you know, maybe there's some pedals like this Halo, you know. Let me just hold this thing up. Okay, look. This, and I love these guys. These Keeley guys are awesome, man. But this is the Halo delay. This thing will do everything except drive you to the grocery store and back. It's got more shit on it than I've ever seen. Mono left, right. It's got a tip ring BA, tip ring sleeve expression pedal, a right out, a left out mono. You can do all this stuff. Man, I don't know what this is. Presets with a bunch of lights down here, 5 knobs, secondary functions, 3 switches. I mean, dude, this thing's incredible. I mean, I just was messing around with it the other day and dialed up some pretty cool stuff. But it's option. I get option anxiety. I've got too much. If I was on the gig with that, I'd be in a straitjacket because I would be so anxious on if I had the thing set in a decent way or not, right? So that's one pedal, and I agree with some pedals and stuff. There's a learning curve here. You got to sit down and read the manual if you want to get the most out of this pedal. Okay, now this pedal on the other hand, and I haven't really tried this thing yet. I'm just showing you. That's my kind of pedal right there. 1 in, 1 out, a light on, light for when it's on, tone, level, and drive. And I understand that's an overdrive pedal. There's only 3 knobs. I love that. It's either going to sound good, you know, right out of the box, or it's not. If you have to spend a long time with an amp, you know, turning the treble, turning it down, turning the bass, mids, boost, switches, all this stuff, garbage. You don't need that shit. That Princeton reverb right there, or a good pro reverb or deluxe reverb, you should know in a matter of seconds whether it sounds good or not. It's either going to sound like the speaker's not great or something like that, or you know, you're not going to, if you take the treble and and you crank it or come back down to 3 and then go up to 6 or something, yeah, you're going to hear it change a little bit, but you're going to know immediately whether that amp sounds good or not. I could take any amp, turn the volume on 3 or 4, put the treble on 4.5, put the bass on 3.5 or 4, the reverb on 3, and I'm going to hit a couple chords and a couple notes, and I'm going to know immediately, man, this is great, or it's not that great, and I'm going to move on and save the money and put that into something else. So that's my spiel on that. You got to have a good speaker. You got to have your tubes. You got to have your tube amps looked at by a tube amp guy that knows what he's doing, and it's not crazy and going to go in and mod a bunch of shit without telling you. You know, bring your stuff to Nashville. You know, take it to Todd Sharp at Nashville Amp Service. Go see Glaziers and some of these guys, Gruins, and let them do your guitar setups for you. It's worth it. Your guitar has to be set up. Now, I'm not one to start tinkering and rewiring and soldering and changing pickups and all this stuff. I hate doing that stuff. And guess what? It's expensive. So, you know, once these guitars, you know, once they're intonated properly and they're set up properly, man, you're good to go. But if the guitar's not staying in tune and you're having to fight it and it's going out of tune all the time, get rid of it and go find another one. What I'm looking for in a guitar, and pedals too, man. I mean, look, this pedal right here, this Dispatch Master, you want to have some fun? Buy one of these and just set it you could set this thing, I could close my eyes and just set it and it would sound like music. It's amazing. This is great. And this is my all-time favorite pedal. One knob, the Ditto Looper. Great practice tool right there. Anyway, so getting to the guitars, and I got to get a new chair here at some point too, because this thing is just like, I'm sure you guys are ready to, you know, come in here and chop this thing up with a hatchet on your own. But I need to get a nice comfortable chair. Maybe I'll do that. But so with an acoustic guitar, and I don't have my little Martin right here, I'd play you a couple notes on that, but it's a nice woody sound. You know, those old Gibsons, those old J50s, those old Epiphones. You know, Martins are great, but there's something about those old Gibsons that just sound fantastic. You know, when the strings get a little dead, they sound great and they record amazing. Engineers love those guitars because they don't have to roll the Martin, you know, boomy low end out of there. Microphones love those old Gibson guitars, those old J50s, man. For the price of a new guitar, you can get a great old guitar. So you're looking for things like, you know, lightweight. You know, a lot of times the lighter the guitar is, the better it's going to sound, the more it's going to resonate. Pine wood for, you know, things like, you know, that old Tele of mine was made out of redwood. You know, pine woods are really great, lightweight. You want the electric guitar to feel great and resonate without even plugging it into an amp. The last thing I'm going to do when picking out an electric guitar is plug it into an amp. If it really rings and you can really play that thing and I'm looking for a couple things. Really nice string tension, which means I can bend it without it being stiff, right? It's nice and buttery and smooth. I want the guitar to play in tune. I'm going to do my checkpoints, you know, with my big chords and do some testing on some, you know, certain chords that I go to that I can really hear whether or not the guitar is playing in tune. I want to make sure the point of contact is really solid between where the fret and the string connect. Of course, you know, I'm pulling it off the neck already, but you know what I mean, this nice point of contact. To where when you're hitting a nice high note, oops. I can dig in a little bit, and the guitar's going to give it back to me. It's not fretting out, it's not splatty, it's not, you know, inconsistent all over the fingerboard. Just a good point of contact from the string to the fret everywhere. Nice buttery string tension. I want a guitar to look cool, but that's the last of my worries. I'm probably not going to buy like a green like a forest green guitar, like a bright purple guitar. I like to keep things kind of traditional. You'll see, you know, our buddy Uncle Larry, he's kind of the same way. He's got, you know, nice traditional colors and you know, things that just, that to us look cool, you know. Nothing too modern and crazy. But man, you know, volume up all the way, tone up all the way for the most part. Let the amp do the work. You know, get the amp working really good, then incorporate your pedals, things like this. But as far as picking out instruments, you know, those are the things I'm looking for. You know, I can pretty much go by the weight. If I pick up a Tele, I know, man, that's way too heavy. It already feels like a boat anchor. The frets, there's no frets there. I can't bend on it. The back pickup is too bright and too harsh. It's not nice and smooth. I'm looking for, if you turn your tone knob and volume knob all the way up and get those pickups doing their thing, and set the amp nice, you shouldn't be too bright or too muffled or too dark or anything like that. If the guitar sounds like this, you don't want that. You want a nice open sound. You want it to have some attack and some brightness, but not be, you know, too ice picky or anything. If it's harsh in any way or not pleasing to the ear in any way, hold out for a better one, you know, a better sounding guitar. With acoustic instrument, and here's the other thing. It takes a long time for your ear to be able to hear the difference between a brand new 335 and one from the 60s. You can't always just go, oh yeah, it sounds so much better. It's like, it takes a long time for your ear to really hear what's making these guitars different sound-wise. And so with acoustic instruments, mandolins and acoustic guitars, I'm looking for that really nice woody tone where with a fast attack, where when you hit the note, it jumps out at you. Nice and even, warm, woody tone. If it's too bright and pingy sounding, tinty, you know, Russ Paul calls it the sibilance, when you can hear that, you're hearing that sizzle. You don't necessarily want that with an acoustic guitar. You want it to have a nice, warm, woody tone, to me. You know, it's kind of like when the strings are brand new on a mandolin or an acoustic guitar. Give it 3 days and it'll settle into a nice thing. So that's kind of some of the things I'm looking for. Same thing on the acoustic guitar. You don't want the action so low that it sounds like a washboard, but you don't want it so high that it's hard to play and uncomfortable. You know, and man, great guitars are getting very hard to come by. You see me, man, I'm guitar poor. I don't have shit to be a professional guitar player, and only have a few instruments that are pretty good. It's pretty crazy. All right, guys. Hey, thanks a bunch. Really appreciate y'all. Let me know if you have any feedback in the comments. Of course, I love to get that going. Hey, and I'm going to be honest with you. I love a good goal. We're at 83,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying the channel, please hit the subscribe button. We like to keep it real around here, but you know what? Who doesn't want to hit 90,000, 100,000? Hey, I want to hit it, man. We're on a mission. It's good for business all the way around. Obviously, you guys are getting something out of it, and so we're just going to keep going, man. And we're going to keep this true north compass heading in a not faltering and going with clickbait or this is this or this is this. This stuff that I'm teaching and that people like Jack and Uncle Larry and our friends are teaching, you know, we did the homework first and sprinkled the social media on top of it. We didn't start with social media and then now we've got to learn how to play the guitar. You know, these fundamentals are what works. It's what changed my life as a kid. When I was around 13 years old, I got on this path, and it's opened up the guitar in a way that allows me to feel like I can really express myself on this instrument. So just, you know, let's stay on it, man. Thank you guys so much. You know who you are. I love y'all, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.